Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today's lecture is about structure of the muscle spindle. Muscle spindle lie between the regular muscle fiber between the belly of muscle and run in parallel with the main muscle fibers. This is the muscle spindle and it runs parallel with the main muscle fiber. The spindle senses muscle length and change in length. Structure of the muscle spindle. A muscle spindle is a spindle or fusiform-shaped organ. This is a fusiform shape composed of a bundle of specialized muscle fiber richly innervated both by sensory axon and motor axon. You can see this is the muscle spindle intrafusial fiber. It is supplied by both sensory and motor neurons. Diameter and length. A muscle spindle is about 100 micrometer in diameter and up to 10 millimeter length. This is the diameter and it is the length 100 micrometer and 10 millimeter long. An innervated part of the muscle spindle is enclosed in a connective tissue. This part which is innervated, it is enclosed in connective tissue. This part, the intrafusial fiber which are supplied by the nerve fiber, is enclosed in a connective tissue capsule. The end of the spindle are attached to the connective tissue within the muscle endomysium. These ends are attached to the muscle endomysium. The key point is that muscle spindle are connected in parallel with regular muscle fiber and thus are able to sense change in the length of the muscle. They are parallelly run with the main muscle fibers and detect any change in the muscle fiber. These are the extrafusial fiber and these are the intrafusial or muscle spindle fiber, and they run parallel with these muscle belly muscle fibers and detect any change in these fibers. Intrafusial and extrafusial fiber. The muscle fiber within the spindle are called intrafusial fiber to distinguish them from the regular or extrafusial fiber that make up the bulk of the muscle. These intrafusial fiber are different from the extrafusial fiber. Individual intrafusial fiber are much narrower than extrafusial fiber and do not run the length of the muscle. They are thin, narrow and not run throughout the muscle length. They are located in the belly of the muscle but not extend throughout the muscle fiber or belly length. Thus they are too weak to contribute significantly to muscle tension or to cause change in the overall length of the muscle directly by their contraction. They play no role in contraction of the muscle fiber, mean they don't provide any energy for the contraction, but they sense the change in the muscle length. Type of intrafusial fiber. Morphologically, two types of muscle fiber are found within muscle spindle: nuclear bag and nuclear change fiber. These are the nuclear bag and these are the nuclear change fiber. These names are derived from the arrangement of the nuclei in the fiber. Nuclear bag fiber are large than nuclear change fiber and their nuclei are bunched together like a bag of oranges in the central or equatorial region of the fiber. They are arranged like oranges in the center of the fiber or in the equator of the fibers. In nuclear chain fiber, the nuclei are arranged in a row. Here you can see that they are arranged linearly or in a fashion of row. Innervation of the intrafusial fiber. Neural innervation of intrafusial fiber differ significantly from that of an extrafusial fiber which is innervated by a single motor nerve. The extrafusial fiber are innervated by single motor nerve. Intrafusial are multiple innervated and receive both sensory and motor neuron. The extrafusial fiber are innervated by the motor nerve and it is innervated both by sensory and motor nerves. The sensory innervation typically include a single group eye RI alpha afferent fibers, a variable number of group 2 afferent fibers. Group IA fibers belong to the class of sensory nerve fiber with the largest diameter and conduct at 80 to 120 millisecond. The conductivity in AIA fibers are 80 to 120 millisecond. Group 2 fiber are invariable intermediate in size and conduct at 35 to 75 millisecond. Sensory nerve terminals. It has sensory nerve terminals whose discharge are increased as the sensory ending is stretched. These are the sensory nerve terminals, and the discharge in these nerve increase when these nerve endings are stretched. This nerve terminal is known as anospiral ending, so named because it is composed of a set of ring in spiral configuration. These fibers turn around the muscle fiber, and that's why it is called spiral ending. Group I alpha sensory fiber. Nuclear change fiber also have annulospiral sensory ending in the central region. The nuclei are in line. These nuclei are in line. It is a shared branch of the axon that supply the central area of the nuclear change fiber. The sensory nerve share or supply both the nuclear bag and the nuclear change fiber in central area. This is a single sensory nerve, and it supply the nuclear bag and also the nuclear chain in the center of the muscle fiber. This sensory nerve is of group I alpha, the fastest found in the body. A motor supply to the intraphysial muscles. Show in red. The motor supply is shown in this picture in red color. In this region, on either side of the central area of the intraphysial fiber are able to contract if their motor supply is active. The motor supply comes via efferent fiber that usually fall into gamma classification of diameter. They are often and better referred to as fusiform fiber. The motor supply to the muscle spindle consists of two types of motor axon: dynamic gamma motor axon, and on the nuclear bag fiber, these are the gamma motor neuron on the nuclear bag fiber, and static gamma motor neuron and on the nuclear chain. The dynamic gamma motor axon and on the nuclear chain, and static motor axon and on nuclear chain and bag 2 fiber. The nuclear bag fiber are two types, beta 2 and beta 1. So the static fiber and on the nuclear chain and the gamma motor axon and on the nuclear bag 1 fiber. You can see there they are ending on these motor pathway carry signal related to voluntary movements. Voluntary movements are movements that are in direct control of the will of a person. These are controlled by skeletal muscle, for example, walking, talking and dancing. Walking, talking and dancing, these are voluntary movements and they are controlled by the motor pathway. But they are also important for the more automatically or non-conscious control aspect of the motor function, such as the setting of muscle tone, the resistance of muscle to change in length. Function of muscle spindle. Because intraphysial fiber, like all muscle fibers, display springy-like protein, a change in their length change the tension that they are under, and this change is sensed by the mechanoreceptor of the group 1 alpha and group 2 spindle afferent fiber. Response of a primary ending group 1 alpha and a secondary ending group 2 to change in muscle length. Functionally, muscle spindle are stretch detectors, that is, they sense how much and how fast a muscle is lengthening or shortened. Accordingly, when a muscle is stretched, this change in length is transmitted to the spindle and their intrafusial fiber, which are subsequently similarly stretched. As a usual MCQ, please pause the video and select the right options and write down the answer in the comment box. Please read the stem and please also read this question and write the answer in the comment box. So thank you. Please don't forget subscription and comments. See you in the next lecture.